What's up guys, it's time for another World's Winning Deck profile from your boy JT here. Today we've got the 2005 winners deck, Markou Miltiadis. He played Goat Control. Most of you should be familiar with this if you've ever played Goat, so let's just get into it. 1 BLS, pretty self-explanatory, beat stick, spot removal of a monster, can get rid of 1,000 eyes on board to allow you to attack again. 1 Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys, if it's destroyed by card effect, send to grave, special summon it during the next standby phase, and destroy all spells and traps on field. 1 Jinzo, just stop all traps on the field from going off. 1 Kaiku, great for grave control, remove a light or a dark, stop your opponent having a light and dark and grave, so they can't get to the BLS at any time. Next up, Azura Priestess. Basically just great for ploughing through all of, if your opponent has a couple of set monsters or a couple of go tokens, just plough through all of them and stop them using them next turn. 1 Tribe Infecting Virus, basically just pitch a card. Declare Beast, get rid of your opponent's go tokens, or Declare Warrior and get rid of your opponent's BLS. 1 Blade Knight, he gains 400 attack if you have 1 or less cards in your hand. And if you control no other monsters, the effects of flip monsters destroyed by battle with this card negated. Pretty good if you end up attacking into, say, Magician of Faith, so that they don't get the spell to hand. Windbreaker becomes either a beat stick or spot removal of a spell or trap, because when it's summoned it gains a spell counter, and it gains 300 attack for each spell counter. And you can remove a spell counter to pop a spell or trap on the field. 1 DD Warrior Lady, great removal. Attack into BLS, take 1500, but you've just removed the BLS and banished it, and they have no way of getting it back then. 1 Tsukiyomi, basically if you've got your 1,000 eyes up and you want to start attacking, summon Tsuk, set your 1,000 eyes, attack, 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 flip 1,000 eyes back up, say steal another monster, and then Tsuk returns to hand for you to attack again next turn. 1 Sangan, great searcher. Since it's the pre-errata, it's not hard ones per turn, and it's just when it's sent from field to grave, add a monster with 1/5 or less attack from your deck to your hand. Next up, Morphing Jar. Recently came back off the ban list. It's a flip effect monster. Both players discard their entire hand, then draw 5 cards. This is a great card. Say you have no hand, set it. You go, say, +5. Your opponent, it's great because say they didn't put anything on board, they've just got the 1 monster and say 6 cards in hand. You neg 1 them, any cards they've searched are gone, basically just to the grave. 1 Hand of Nephthys, you contribute this card and 1 other monster, special summon Sacred Phoenix from your hand or deck. Pretty nice. Does this get the effect? No, I don't believe so, no. No, it has to be some vice effect, the Sacred Phoenix, to nuke the spells and traps. But it's nice to have it there, because then you can say, there's no dark hole. How are you destroying it? Oh well. Next up, there's 1 Apprentice Magician. When it's summoned, target 1 face-up card on the field. You can place a spell counter on, place a spell counter on that card. If this guy's destroyed by battle, you can special summon 1 level 2 or lower spellcaster type monster from your deck in face-down defense. Taking me on to our next card, Magician of Faith. Basically flip effect, add a spell from your grave to hand. Next step, 1 Sinister Serpent, Nuts card. Because it's the pre-errata, basically during your standby phase, if it's in your grave, just you can add it to hand. It's basically just free pitch fodder for, say, Tribe Infecting Virus, Graceful Charity, and if you're in a situation, you can use it with Metamorphosis. But anyway, getting onto the spells. 1 Heavy Storm, just destroy spells and traps on the field. 1 Delinquent Duo, basically you go neg 1, your opponent goes neg 2. 2 Metamorphosis, Nuts card, just target a monster, tribute a monster, special summon a fusion monster from your deck with the same level as the distributed monster. In this deck, you'd send either, say, a Sinister Serpent if you're in a situation, or a Goat token to summon 1,000 eyes. And 1,000 eyes just controls the deck. I'll get onto that when I get to the extra deck. Well, I'll just do it now anyway. No, I'll get onto it. You got 1 Pot of Greed, a +1, Nuts card, first card ever, pretty much. 2 Noblemen of Cross Out. This is great because it's spot removal for sack monsters, and it can remove Magician of Faith from play. When Swords of Revealing Light, just a bit of stall until you can get to a win condition, pretty much. 1 Graceful Charity, just lets you dig deep into your deck for literally no cost. 1 Brain Control, because of the pre-errata, you pay 800 and then target one face a monster your opponent controls, take control of it until the end phase. The errata just means it can't be used for stuff, I believe. 1 MST, just spot removal for spells and traps. 2 Book of Moon, this is really good in GOAT because it can set the Thousand Eyes and allow you to actually attack again and change positions and stuff. 2 Scapegoat, good card. Can be used to put up a nice bit of wall, and you use it with Metamorphosis to go into Thousand Eyes. 1 Econ, you just tribute a card and take control or change a monster's position. You contribute a Go token. Yeah, you contribute a Go token to take control of the opponent's monster. Next up, Snatch Steal. Take control of the opponent's monster, they gain a K during the standby. Say you use on BLS, you put in 2k into them probably. So 2k, you're doing an additional 2k to the 1000 they're gaining. Anyway, Premature Burial, just summon the monster from grave by paying 800. Last step, the traps, all one-ofs, 1 Bottomless, just when a monster summon will win 5 or more attack, destroy it, and then banish it. 1 Mirror Force, self-explanatory, opponent attacks, destroy attack position monsters. Torrential Tribute, nuke the board when your opponent summons a monster. Sorry, nuke all the monsters on the board. 1 Ring of Destruction, pre-errata, so both players take the damage at the same time, so this can lead to a draw. 1 Royal Decree, just stop all traps on the field. And 1 Call of the Haunted, summon any monster from your grave that can be summoned, pretty much. Last up, the extra deck, your bread and butter? Yes, bread and butter of the deck, Thousand Eyes Restrict. Basically just spot removal for monsters, and it gains the attack, and other monsters cannot attack or change their battle positions. Nuts card, this is where the main control comes from in the deck. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, see ya.